SASAH is not just one of the most important programs in arts and humanities, but really at the university, whether it's art, literature, language, philosophy, the world of ideas. And it's a really important part of human knowledge. We really focus on who we are. What are we as human beings? What is important to us, right? It's in our stories, in our thinking about philosophical and ethical issues, about metaphysics, about art, representing who we are as people. In all those elements, we're really investigating who we are, what is worthwhile, what is a life worth living.
Because of the cohort structure of SASAH, that SASAH students tend to form really strong bonds as they move through the program.
Us being on the same floor and living together for first year was so impactful because those relationships and that kind of tight-knit family atmosphere transferred really easily to the classroom.
With its small classes and largely discussion-based and often student-driven curriculum, an instructor can play the role of a facilitator of students directing their own learning. With each classroom and each one having a teaching assistant, students are getting a lot of feedback and a lot of individual attention to the work that they're doing.
It's not enough just to be a good student in terms of grades. Students have to be deeply curious.
A student who's intensely creative and for whom creativity means something, not just creating things, but asking questions about why we're creating things, the value of art, the value of poetry, the value of creativity most broadly, and how it has a transformational capacity in the world. That student who's really thinking seriously about that, it appeals to that kind of student as well.
The opportunity for students to really have a say in the kinds of things that they're learning and that are going on in the classroom. I think that's a significant value of the program. The students will help shape the future of the program.
SASAH is really student first. So SASAH's entire third year is not necessarily in person, it's more online, and it kind of allows students to be able to not only venture into different majors, but also possibly do a study abroad, which is what I did.
We really were thinking about finding ways to engage the Faculty of Arts and Humanities beyond the campus and beyond the classroom.
We want to do one step further, and that's to take it out into the community. We bring in philosophy people and art people and literature people and gender and sexuality people, and we have that sort of collision of ideas. But I think we can take it further still. Right? We take it out into the community and expand our view. How does it work in the real world?
They've done projects with the Grand Theatre, and they've done work with the Old East Village Business Improvement Association.
The first time I asked a student this, and they worked in an insurance company for the summer, and I said, well, how can you turn that into a research-oriented thing that would count for your fourth-year project? Can you give me a research question? And Sarah turned to me and she said, oh yeah, why do we attach a monetary value to life?
It doesn't always have to be a paper. Sometimes it can be an artwork. Sometimes it's a presentation. Sometimes it's a debate. The outputs can be different each time, and SASAH doesn't necessarily value just one way of doing things, but values leaning into everyone's strengths and making sure that we develop very well-rounded and holistic skills. So
it has built bridges with different sectors of our community. It's not by chance that SASAH had a student who went on to be a Rhodes Scholar, and one of the things that was instrumental in their moving forward and becoming a Rhodes Scholar was that the first project they did in the Woodland Cemetery then became a job they had at the Woodland Cemetery, which then became a whole series of research projects that made them into a major researcher in the city.
When you do develop the kinds of skills and analysis and creative possibilities that SASAH offers, I think it helps you begin to move out into the world and see what the possibilities for really change-making are.
The discussion-based orientation of the classes has just been a kind of fertile ground for helping students build so many different skills, like compassion, like humility, like intellectual curiosity, resilience, mindfulness, all of those things, and intelligence. emotional intelligence as well as intellectual intelligence. So I think it's been a great way of helping students define, well, who they are and who they want to be to other people.
Whether it is meetings with our advisory council and the opportunities for networking and mentoring with the members of the advisory council who can talk to our students about how to connect with people that might be able to help them with their careers or give them advice about graduate programs. They are graduating from PhD programs. They are becoming senior members, some of them in the organizations that they work in.
And so I think the students who are out in the world once they've graduated have a sense that they're still part of SASAH and they want to give back because they realize that it's really part of their responsibility.
The greatest strength of SASAH is the students.